Welcome back.
Today we talk about our dream jobs.
Then we'll give some advice to our listeners.
This is the Boredroom. I'm Sara.
And I'm Rachel.
You ever see a dog walking on its hind legs? It's unnatural and disturbing. Every time I witness it happening, I push them back on all fours and yell, "That's where you belong." All right, Rachel, I've got some exciting news.
Who is that?
Oh, didn't you know I've been Scottish this whole time?
Wow, I've
Wouldn't
never
that be
noticed.
hilarious if I was actually Scottish?
That'd be crazy.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do have some exciting news, and it's not that I'm Scottish.
Because that wouldn't be exciting.
No, if anything, it would be sad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I side with the...
I loved Brave.
Yeah. Isn't that weird that two of like the most known Scottish characters in American cinema are in movies called Braveheart and Brave?
Yeah.
You'd think they would think of like another adjective.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love the Celts. Are they even Celts? Aren't the Irish people the Celts?
I have no
Either
idea.
way, if you're not British, I'm here for you. That includes the Welsh.
Yeah.
The English are the only people on that aisle that I give this side eye to.
Yeah.
And they deserve it.
True.
Anyway, it's incredible. I went on a tangent off of another tangent. I got a job earlier this week.
Woo! Congratulations.
I'm not going to say
That's
the company's
exciting.
name, just because I don't know if this is the best advertising.
Yeah.
I don't know
They
if
may
they
not
want to
be associated
they
with this.
Yeah, I don't want them to call me in one day and be like, you mentioned on your resume that you are on a podcast, and we're gonna read some excerpts of some of the things that you've said.
Yeah. Can you go ahead and tell me if these are things you've said on your podcast?
Yeah. Is this true that you ranked the races in terms of how much you like them? And hopefully after that conversation, they'd be like, "You get a promotion." And I was like, "I thought I was getting fired." But yeah, I did get a job. I'm employed.
Woo woo.
I'm employed, and not as like a waitress or a cashier either.
Yeah.
I have to wear business casual.
That's crazy.
I have to buy.
Do you have a desk?
No. I have to buy penny loafers though.
Oh.
Because they were like, maybe don't wear heels because your feet are gonna hurt. And I was like,
Are you on your feet all day?
to an extent.
Oh.
I don't want to go into any details. I'm an account manager.
Wow.
I know the details of the job, but I don't know why I'm like scared to talk about it. I'm just like, no, I don't want to.
Go find it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd never thought that I would be able to say that I'm finally going to be contributing to society.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I technically even can say that, even after gaining employment. But it's nice because on some level, I feel like both my parents are like, thank God.
She's got a paycheck.
Yeah. And I have nothing else to say. I don't want to get fired.
Yeah.
Even before the training process begins. So we'll leave it at that. Another exciting thing in my life, I succumbed to the...
You what? You sucked what?
Listen. Take your filthy mind and go sit in the corner, Rachel. Disgusting.
Sorry.
I've
Like
never made a dirty
word.
joke on this podcast ever. I've kept
This
it
is
clean.
made for children.
Unbelievable. I was going to say I'm the Bill Cosby of comedy.
That is not a good thing.
There was 3 levels of wrong to that statement. I was going to say I'm 1980s Cosby, but I think he was still doing stuff back then. I'm exclusively Pudding Pop Cosby, not even the show.
Yeah.
I'm just him in that sweater being like, the Pudding Pop. And also in those videos where he's like talking down to black people and being like,
Oh.
You've never seen them?
Oh
my God. Yes, Bill Cosby was like one of those old black people that became successful, and then he started going and he was like, "You thugs with your pants down to your..." I don't know why I gave him a southern accent.
That's like the Chris Rock bit about like black people are the most racist because even they also hate black people.
The difference is that Chris Rock said it in a way that was funny.
Yeah.
Whereas like Bill Cosby like genuinely has animosity for like young inner city black kids. Anyway, we don't need to talk about Bill Cosby right now. He's in jail.
He's had enough time.
He suffered enough, honestly. But like I said, before you so rudely turned my statement into a dirty joke.
I'm sorry.
I succumbed to the pressures of wanting to look nice, but not wanting to spend money. So I did buy one of those pleated skirts. That I'm assuming, based on the price, was definitely like sweatshop made.
Yeah. A little tiny fingers sewed those stitches.
Oh, 100%. And like, not to brag, but I wear a size small. So I know that they were tiny fingers doing all that work. Yeah. And you know what? I felt guilty. I felt guilty in that moment. But it's that very stupid, like, liberal but not an activist kind of guilt where I'm like, I'm complicit in a system, but like I won't change my actions or anything.
You're like, that Amazon 2-day shipping though?
Oh my God. It's like, I have somewhere to be on Sunday. Yeah. I need to look good.
Yeah.
And I used to take pride in saying that I never gave any money to like the Kardashians, for example. But I've given a good amount to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to feel about that.
I've definitely paid for at least like 8 of his head waxings that he's gotten.
Oh, he has a buffer. He comes to his house. He gets like the wax.
Yeah.
That shiny.
Like the big thing they use on like a basketball court. They put that on his head.
Oof. Shout out to his ex-wife.
Yeah, who's like the richest woman in the world
I'm
now.
glad. I think it's a little sad that when you look at like the list of the richest women, only like 3 are self-made.
Yeah.
The rest are like the wife, the daughter.
Yeah.
And it's like
well,
woo. Wow. We've come so far, ladies. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see corrupt female CEOs.
Yeah.
I will know that we have true gender equality when there is a female Elon Musk.
True.
I want there to be...
Elania Musk.
Oh my God. Please don't give them any ideas for their next born child.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I know Fran Lebowitz, who's an icon, and, my favorite, said once that, there's true equality. And this is more racial than gender-based. She was like, there's going to be true equality, not when there are black geniuses, but when there are black morons who still reach that level of power. And that's what I want to see.
I want to be a moron in power.
Yeah. Not real power, because, like, I don't want to work those hours.
Yeah.
I just, I want to have a very, like, middle management level of power. Mm-hmm. Some people have to listen to me, but I'm so... down the chain of command that like nothing is my fault.
Yeah.
I don't know why in these moments I think, what can I say on this podcast that could be used against me in like court?
Yeah.
Or like a child custody
battle.
And there's a lot of material here. So like, 20 years down the line, if you see all these videos deleted or put on a private, you'll know why.
So yeah, suddenly half your channel disappears one day.
And you're like, I pull a Shane Dawson. Ooh.
You start doing it with your cat?
Stop. That's so weird. It's a little funny. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that.
I didn't F my cat. Like, you had to like say that as a public statement. Like,
it's hilarious to me because I remember watching Shane during his whole blackface era, like in real time.
Shanae.
I think I mentioned this being a little black girl. I say this like I'm not black now, but
you're not.
Back when I used to be black and I used to watch him, and he would fully be in blackface.
I remember I watched one where he was like Randy Jackson. He was like, I don't know, dog, and like doing all the voices, and
I was like, oh my God, sir. But then in that moment when I was like 10, I was like, this is comedy.
Yeah.
I still don't have discerning taste now, but at least I would have handed him like a face wipe and then like just lighten it up at the very least. You know? I was talking about a skirt. Anyway, I bought a skirt. It is fast fashion, but now I feel like one of those Visco girls. I initially thought I was a Tumblr girl, but that's not a thing anymore. Like that. Yeah. Did you have a Tumblr?
Yeah, I did.
Back in like 20 like 10 to 14.
Yeah, it was like right in that like middle school going into high school era.
It was I distinctly remember the aesthetic, which was what was that girl's name? Alicia Brinley. She's back on TikTok. If you know, you know. It was very like pastel, Arctic monkeys.
Oh yeah. Do I want to know? In the little wave thing.
Oh, like the black with the white wave. It was a lot of like those really chunky peeled boots. What the hell else was there? 90s, but like not really 90s, like modern 90s clothing. Angst. Something about like wanting to die all the time.
Yeah.
When I think the 2010s was just like this bizarre cluster F of just every single possible trend, and now it's worse. Now it's worse because Y2K stuff is coming back, but then 80s are coming back. But they're like straight up carbon copies. They're not even like modernized versions.
Yeah.
Am I gonna hop on that trend? 100%. But
I have the mom jeans and the big chunky white shoes.
Oh yeah, I'm
now.
fully gonna buy high-waisted bell bottoms.
Yeah.
They look great, and you can wear them with like chunky boots.
Yeah.
70s fashion, men's fashion in the 70s was the height.
True.
The height of fashion.
Those haircuts?
Oh my gosh. Everyone looked like they were about to like smuggle a brick into Miami.
Yeah.
That was the peak of fashion.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are going to start to agree with me. Like Y2K, everyone was like, Y2K was the ugliest fashion. It was so gross. Everyone, you could only wear those clothes if you were like 90 pounds.
Yeah.
And had no
so everything
fat
was
on
like
you.
low-waisted, like crop top.
And now everyone's like body positive.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like, no, now you have to be very thin, but then also have like a big butt and boobies. So it's worse. It's like exponentially gotten worse. We live in a nightmare.
Yeah.
So on to our next topic. I bought a skirt. You bought some plaid pants.
Yeah, I bought plaid pants because I was trying to be stylish. I was trying to be cool. But then I put them on, and I'm like, I am just Ellen. Like, every day, I just get further and further towards Ellen, towards looking more lesbian. And, you know, I don't got nothing against the lesbians. You know, I'm a big fan of lesbians.
Sure.
But
aren't we all?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty big fans. I know that Girl in Red song. I'm an ally.
In what? Red song?
Girl in Red, is that her name?
I legitimately...
My girl.
Was she a lesbian?
Isn't it a lesbian song?
I've never heard of this song in my entire life.
You're not
Who
an
sang
ally.
it?
I think it's called Girl in Red. Wait, their band is called Girl in Red.
I've never heard of this.
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm
homophobic. Did you not know?
Maybe I really am gay.
You might be. I've never heard that band or song.
What? But I just feel like when I put my plaid pants on, I'm like, yo, I'm so stylish. But every time I get an outfit that's like, I look cool, like I look stylish, everyone else tells me, whoa, Rachel, you look really gay in that outfit.
You look like you're about to hit your like commitment ceremony or something.
Yes, like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I like the gays, and I like to look stylish. So maybe I just full send it. I become Ellen. I start yelling at people. I start dancing. I kiss women more.
You do that little white...
I do the little shimmy.
I mean, technically, her show, she's ending it. There is a vacancy.
Yeah, there's no more challenge in it for her.
She's been on for like 20 billion years.
Yeah.
She's already rich. She's in her 60s. I'd peace out too.
Yeah.
I'd leave.
Yeah. Especially because everyone doesn't like her anymore.
This is what happens when you don't retire.
She should have left like 4 years ago when everyone still loved her.
This is why, like, could you imagine if Oprah's show was still going on? We would be like, pack it up.
Yeah.
You know, let Stedman off his leash.
Yeah.
And just, at some point, you gotta realize there's nothing else that I'm gonna do with this show that I haven't already done.
True.
I mean, at a certain point, it's like, how many times can you and Sofia Vergara do some sort of challenge together?
Yes.
You know what's odd? You bring up Ellen. I met Ellen once.
Really?
In a dark parking lot.
Oh.
And I saw her, out of the corner of my eye, I saw like a short blonde hairdo.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell if it was Ellen or Ronan Farrow. And I was like, no, that's a woman's figure.
Yeah.
And then I kind of came up to her and I was like, oh my God, Ellen, can I get a photo? Like, I recently just got diagnosed with something and it would be really nice. Like, I was like fully lying to her.
Yeah.
Because because I was like, if she feels bad for me, then
can I come on your show?
Yeah,
and
that's what I
get
was
a big
thinking.
check?
I was playing the long con.
Yeah.
I just wanted her to like give me money.
Yeah.
And I just felt like her people would not check.
Yeah.
And I could just like Gypsy Rose Blanchard it and just pretend. I was like, I have the type of chemo where like your hair doesn't fall out and it gets longer. And so I wanted to take a photo with her, and she looks me dead in the eye, and she's like, "You are nothing to me. A roach.
Oh.
A roach scattering on a motel floor means more to me than you." And I said, "Ellen, oh my God, like." I thought you were so nice. Like, you seem like such a good person. And she's like, that's a facade. You don't know me.
Wow.
And you will never know me. She was just staring deep into my soul. And Portia was right next to her, but she wasn't like allowed to speak because it was like after 7. So she was like dead silent. And there was this look in her eyes, sort of like, you ever see like those like hostage videos that like terrorist groups send out, and they have like they have like a journalist, and the journalist is like reading a letter, but their eyes are screaming like, "Help me!"
Yeah,
it was like that. But she was dressed better than they were. And in that moment, I was so shocked. They say like, never meet your heroes.
Yeah,
you always get disappointed.
Yeah.
It was just like when I met Dennis Rodman, and she just sort of scurried off into the night, and then Portia like ran after her.
Wow.
She was driving. Portia was running alongside the car, which is what I thought was odd.
Yeah.
And she kept up with it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I'm talking like highway speeds in heels. She was galloping.
She must have a long stride.
It was very odd because I tried to like take a photo of them, and then as I sort of looked through the lens, I could see Portia looking back, and her eyes were reflective, which is, humans don't have that.
Oh.
Humans don't have that reflective tissue behind their eyes the way that like cats do.
Yeah.
So now I have questions as to what Portia's real state of existence is.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that her show is over, if anyone listens to this podcast and believes my story, as they should, because it's 100% true, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about like getting sued for libel.
Yeah.
Because by then she's going to be like, what, in her mansion in Malibu with her 15 dogs and 3 rescued cats and 5 parakeets. You know how they are.
She's got like goats.
Oh yeah,
she'd be making
like
the goat
sanctuary
soap and stuff. Yeah.
Ugh. I'm sorry, goats? No, thank you.
Yeah, goat yoga. I know Ellen does that goat yoga.
Okay, what? I've never in my entire life been like, wow, I need to feel relaxed. Let me bring a goat into the room.
Let me have a goat hop on my back.
Right? Walk on you. An animal that's known for eating literally anything. I don't want that coming near my hair and clothes.
You don't want it doing what near your hair? Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't want it doing that either.
Sorry.
If anything, more than eating it.
It still eats it, though?
It would. I mean, they don't seem like they have any sort of taste.
Yeah, my because I'm from, or at least I am related to hillbilly type people. I don't like to admit it, but
just say white trash.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
My people on my mom's side of the family, they used to have goats, and they would feed it dollars. They would give it money.
That's a flex.
Yeah.
It did have a taste for money, like it was a treat, or
I don't know. I think it was just like, whoa, cool. It eats dollars. Like it was like, wow, this goat can do tricks.
How's it a trick? It's an animal that's known for eating anything. Of course, it's gonna eat money.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need a penny if I could.
Yeah.
I want to have Abraham Lincoln inside of me, one way or another.
Yeah.
And his corpse is already rotted, so you know that.
True.
That option's out of the question.
Yeah.
If he was like cremated and I found his ashes, I would.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, rub it on your gums.
Yeah.
You start giving speeches or something.
Yeah, descendants of Lincoln, hit me up.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to our first section
Yeah.
of the podcast, which is our dream jobs.
Yeah. Even though you just got a job, you gotta keep your options open.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is like an entry-level position. I'm working my way up.
Yeah.
So we have several dream jobs, actually. I mean, I would like to preface this by saying that we do not dream of labor, but we do have to get paid to do something.
True.
So here are some of the jobs that we would do for free, just because we love it so much and it's our passion, but we will demand to get paid for it because we're not suckers.
Yeah.
The first one being Times Square Elmo.
Mm.
I know what you guys are thinking. glamorous position.
Yeah.
And a major tourist attraction.
Yeah.
You're famous, essentially.
Yeah.
Sort of, but you're famous in the way that, like, the guy who played Darth Vader is famous.
Yeah.
You know, no one knows what he looks like.
Yeah.
Just sort of how he walks. And not even how he talks. It's not even his voice. He really was essentially, like, a mannequin for that outfit.
Yeah.
But mind you, that means you're famous, but you also get to be anonymous. You retain your, like, anonymity.
That's
which
true.
is valuable. Not to mention, the only reason that I genuinely want to do it, outside of, you know, that beautiful sweaty costume that smells like, you know, Chinese gasoline,
Yeah.
is that I want to just start fighting with tourists.
That would be fun.
Yeah, the great thing about it is that they're not from America, so they can't sue you in this country.
Yeah.
So they'll have to leave, right?
Yeah.
Because their visas expire. They're
True.
on like visiting visas. So you got to make sure that they're huddled together and speaking another language, and they do not know how to speak English well.
Yeah.
So that's when you know that you are not dealing with someone who's going to be in the States for long.
True.
And you just square up.
You got to be smart about it.
Exactly. I would say pick the ones on the shorter side. So you're gonna be messing with a lot of Koreans.
Yeah.
A lot
Maybe
of
a couple
Chinese.
Hispanics in there.
I'd say, like, I would want to sort of be an equal opportunity fighter, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to take on a Swede by myself.
Yeah.
Those legs, they're gonna curb stomp me from a
True.
mile away.
True.
So that's just my bit of advice if you want to start fights with people in Times Square.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if you also, like, people would come up to you and be like, "Can I take a photo?" And then you'd be like, "Yeah, sure." You'd be like breathing through that. I guess his mouth.
Yeah.
Elmo's mouth. And then you could, like, whisper things to them. You could be like, what is it? And they'd be like, what? And you'd be like, and then they would say they were losing their mind.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, I didn't say anything.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, it'd be so freaky.
You start speaking parcel tongue, like in
like,
Harry Potter.
It would be freaky if they started speaking back.
That would be.
You gotta be careful, because if you go out into the world doing freak shit, you have to expect the freak shit to come back.
That's true.
To you. And you have to be
true.
prepared for that.
If you can't serve it if you can't take it. What? What's the, you can't dish it if
It's don't dish it out if you can't take it, I think.
Mm-hmm. That one.
Another one is like, if you knock on enough doors asking to talk to the devil, eventually he'll answer, or something like that.
Oh.
Which is very odd. Imagine.
The devil goes down
Ding
to
dong.
Georgia.
Is Satan here? You're like, he's in the
Trick
back.
or treat.
So that was one of my my preferred jobs. Another would be a mail order bride.
Oh,
I don't
that
think
would be fun.
It would. Now that I'm a U.S. citizen, it's not going to be as fun, because they always want, like, they want the foreigners, who are, like, desperate for that green card.
Yeah,
But it's still an option, if
True.
Match.com deletes my profile again. Another job would be, again, a costume. I dress up as one of the people that's Chuck E. Cheese during kids' birthday parties, and then they come out, and then the children start screaming and crying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like best of both worlds.
True.
Get to be in a costume, you get to scare children. You ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese?
Pizza?
Yeah, that, like, reused pizza, which I'll still eat.
Yeah.
It's Chuck E. Cheese. Like, just be glad that they're not spitting in it at this point.
True. I think I've been to a Chuck E. Cheese. I don't really remember. Like, I feel like I must have been to some birthday party. Yeah, like, I must have been there at some point, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it slaps when you're a child and all you want is, like, noise and bright lights, because that's all what your, like, brain responds to.
Yeah.
But my dad used to take me, and, like, we never spoke whenever he used to take us places. And I truly need to apologize to him for having to sit in a booth by himself at a Chuck E. Cheese several times.
Yeah.
I think it's like the torture at Guantanamo isn't that intense. And I also made him watch 2 Alvin and the Chipmunks movies in theaters.
That's a new
We
low.
saw it, not even the second. It was the first one.
The squeakquel?
Yeah, the squeakquel, and then the third one is chipwrecked. The squeakquel? That's so funny. Why is that so funny to me?
It really is.
I have a sophisticated sense of humor. So, That's one of my other favorite jobs. Another one would be like a courtroom sketch artist. I think this is the only form of physical art that's valid. You can quote me on that.
Interesting.
That and like, I don't know, ceramic making. I just like, have you ever looked at courtroom like sketch artists?
Yeah.
They manage to capture the essence of the person so well. Could you imagine if you went to art school? You got like a master's like in fine arts, and then that's the gig.
Yeah, you're just drawing murderers all day.
Yeah. How much do you think that pays?
It's got to be more than like the guy who draws like this is what the suspect looks like. It's got to be more than
like
that
the
guy.
Police sketch.
Yeah.
Or you could be one of those artists that like, you know, those viral videos where it's like, describe your face, and then how other people describe your face. The problem is I would make both versions ugly. Like, if anything, it would be worse. They'd feel worse about themselves after they left.
Because then you'd have to be like, wow, it looks exactly like you.
It would look nothing like them, not even close. There was also one I saw that was like people who used to live in North Korea and like defected, and they don't have like photos of their family, so then they describe like a person in their family. And the person has to draw. Imagine if you mess that up, and the person's like, "This looks nothing like my
this
mother."
Isn't them. Yeah.
And you're like, "Well, I guess you'll never see her again. Bye."
Can I still get that $20?
Oh yeah, they give it to you like in a crumpled bill.
Yeah.
Man, but it'd be cool. It'd be one of those jobs where people would actually be like, "Oh," you know, like if you're like a mortician or what's another job that people are like. Oh, like if you...
Like it sparks a conversation.
Right, like if you were like a dictionary writer. Or some one of those jobs where you're like...
Webster.
Oh my God, you're Mrs. Webster. And then you're like, yes, and this is my husband, Mr. Oxford.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. That would be another cool job. You mentioned a job you wanted.
I would love to oil up Vin Diesel. Any like muscular, short-ish, bald man that needs oiling, bro, hit me up.
Like a boulder, like a tiny boulder.
Yeah, I want to oil him up before whenever the next like Fast and Furious is. I would love to make him look all sweaty and oily.
Yeah.
Show off his little muscles. Shine his bald spot.
I would say that that's a lifetime job because there is a Fast and Furious sequel that's scheduled every 1.5 years from now to like
2037.
The unforeseen future. Like, it's incredible. They're going to be 80 years old in those like little scooters.
Because then even like that one guy like passed away, but he was still in the movie. Like his
even
like brother
death.
played him. Yeah, so it's like they're
even
literally,
death will not stop them.
They're gonna find a way to keep making those movies.
Oh my God, they're gonna start because I guess they have to have kids at this point. So there's gonna be like Fast and Furious Next Generation.
Yeah,
it's incredible how the film started off as like they're street racers and they know about cars, but it was somewhat realistic. You're like, okay, I guess a car might be able to do that. Cut to like 12 years later, they're literally driving through buildings off of like the Burj Khalifa or like the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
You know that big building.
Wiz Khalifa,
that Mia Khalifa.
Yeah.
Like literally they're driving from one giant skyscraper into another one in a Lamborghini. I'm like, they're not spies.
Yeah.
They're not trained to do this.
Yeah. I think I saw like there was like a preview for whatever the 18 or whatever they're on.
Yeah.
And they were like in helicopters or something. I was like, they've moved past cars now.
Yeah.
They're pilots.
They got their license. Didn't you know?
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's a diverse cast. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
They're not horrible, I will say.
Yeah.
You know, I guess frat boys from state schools have to watch something.
Yeah.
Better Fast and the Furious than... What's another thing that they used to watch? Transformers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, also that. Which I guess technically any scene Megan Fox is in, Michael Bay was like, this needs to double as an adult movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. It's about family. And boy, do they hammer that point in so much. They don't employ any subtlety.
Yeah. I think every line Vin Diesel has, like, for my family.
Exactly. I don't know. Maybe he sustained enough brain damage where he like
he
actually doesn't remember that he's already said that line.
Yeah.
The Rock's in those movies now. They shoehorn
he
him
is.
in. He's another very boulder-like man who's bald but taller, whose legal name is actually The Rock. First name The, last name Rock.
Yeah.
And I would say that you're the one who wanted to like sort of buff up Vin Diesel's head. I think that my job, my dream job at least, would be to sort of like tweak The Rock's nips so that every time he puts on like a tight t-shirt,
Yeah.
they poke through like the beaks of a little baby chicks. That's
Yeah.
something I would if I was paid to do that, I feel like I would finally have a career where I gained like ultimate fulfillment.
Yeah, like you finally have a purpose.
Yeah. They'd be like, 2 minutes till we start shooting, and then I'm like, Mr. Rock, I'm here with like 2 little ice cubes,
Yeah.
and then I just
Yeah.
and then he's like, thanks, Sarah. You always know how to get him rock hard. And then I'm like, and he's like, and then we make out. So that's one of my dream jobs. Another one, and you're gonna notice a trend here, is that all my dream jobs involve something perverse or like messing with people mentally.
Yeah.
You know those people who have like those signs outside of car dealerships or like Quiznos, and then it's like free sandwich with a something, I don't know.
Oh yeah, like the sign spinner people.
Yeah, I would be one of those people, except on the back of one of those signs I would write in like erasable ink, like "You're next," and then I would just stand there, and then as the cars would zoom by, and then one of them would see it, and then they'd be like, "What? Wait a minute, what was that?" And then they'd turn back around, or they would sort of do a double take, but then by then I would have already erased it, and then I'm back to flipping.
Yeah, you're back to the Quiznos
I'm
side.
back to flipping.
Yeah.
And then if anyone complains and they come out and they see there's nothing on the sign, and I'm all like, "Who, me? I never did anything like that, Mr. Bossman." And he'd be like, "Why are you talking like that?" and then that would be it. And then slowly those people would start to like, their sense of reality would just start to like deteriorate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and then you write down their license plate number. You do that outside their house.
Yeah, and then I find out, because if you get the license plate number, you can easily like find out
do a little
who's
reverse
registered
lookup.
to.
Yeah.
It's scary how easy it is to find people.
Yeah, it really is.
Especially nowadays, they're like they post photos of themselves.
Yeah.
They put their schools down.
Yeah.
These dummies have like those little stickers on the back of their cards where they're like, "My family," and stick figures. So I'm like, now I know exactly how many children you have, what gender essentially they identify as, how many pets you have, if you are married, right?
Yeah.
If they're young, if they're older. If you have one of those like, my kid is an honor roll student of blah, 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 I'm like, all right, so now I know what school they go to. You fools! You're giving these people so much information.
Yeah.
So,
We steal their identities.
no one's gonna steal my identity. I don't like have enough money, or
Yeah.
I think that's the good thing about not having that much individual wealth, is that no one's really checking for me.
Yeah. No one's interested.
Yeah.
They're like, we could, but like, why?
I mean, like, if I ever got to be like a D-list celebrity, do you know the amount of times I'd have to like change my password?
Yeah.
I mean, for one, it would have to be like a different password, but that'd be exhausting.
Yeah, that's so true.
But that's just the price of fame.
Yeah.
It would be worth it.
Yeah.
So that was our list. It's not a definitive list.
Yeah.
We can always add stuff to it. We can take things off, because I mean, the amount of roids that Diesel and The Rock use at this point. I'm sorry, not the performance enhancement drugs. They use. I don't know if they have that much time left.
It's true.
Man, who do you think's gonna go first?
I hope they go together, like in like a romantic way.
My God, like in Thelma and Louise, holding hands, driving off of a cliff.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
That's
be beautiful.
what I envision.
You look down at the cliff and you just see 2 bald heads shining. One is slightly more tinged brown than the other.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they are.
that's beautiful. Now that we're already getting emotional, I feel like this would be the perfect time to give some heartfelt advice.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some letters from our listeners.
Yes. As you all know, we have a very dedicated fan base of about, like, I think maybe 2.5 people.
Yeah.
And they do write to us, and we always give them advice. Of course, we do not have any authority to do this. We don't have a license as like a therapist or a counselor. If anything, it would be preferable for them to not listen to us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're never going to give up an opportunity to stand on a soapbox and tell people what to do.
Yeah, if I can share my opinions, then I'm there.
So we have our first letter. So letter number 1 reads, Dear Sarah and Rachel, I've recently given birth to my 3rd child, Kaylin. My other children, Uden and Susan Sarandon Jr., are 2 and 3 years old respectively. I was disassociating in my kitchen, washing a paper plate, with the chipper sound of Peppa Pig's British accent blasting from the TV, when I suddenly realized I don't love my children. I don't want to give them up, though, since they look so cute in family photos. Plus, I like being able to board a plane first. What should I do? Signed, Agitated in Albuquerque. Now.
This one's tough.
I feel like this is, I'm not going to lie, a sentiment that I can completely understand.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm going to be brave enough to say it. I think it's sexist to expect women to love their children.
Yeah.
I think that it's not fair. I think that sometimes you have a kid and you look at it and you're like,
Meh.
yeah, exactly. You're like, doesn't really go with the furniture.
Yeah.
You don't really get along.
Yeah.
Sometimes that changes. Sometimes they get
Yeah.
older. They become good conversationalists. They learn how to wipe their own ass. And then finally, you can talk to them about politics, see what their opinion is. And then you might become friendly. But then sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's the harsh reality of the world that we live in.
That's true.
So frankly, at this point, this woman doesn't seem like she's a violent
Yeah.
person. I mean, she's letting her children get indoctrinated by Peppa Pig, which I support.
Exactly.
At this point, I would just say agitated in Albuquerque. First of all, you live in Albuquerque, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's an interesting place to raise a family because High School Musical took place there.
Oh.
But so did Breaking Bad.
Oh.
So your kid could go either way.
Yeah.
And with names like that,
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you love Kaylin the most.
Yeah, Kaylin you love. Uden, you hate Uden.
I don't know. Maybe maybe they're like Dutch or something.
Yeah.
It could be, right?
Yeah.
That sounds like a dwarf's name.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon Jr., I mean, phenomenal name, first of all. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of women naming their children Junior. Like Sarah Jr., who's going to be my son's or daughter's name at this point.
True.
Side note, I also think that men who name their sons their name Junior are psychopaths, and I don't trust them. Trump.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, is it not true?
It's true.
It's so freaky to look at yourself and be like, and your child and be like, no, I'm not even going to give you an individual identity. Yeah. You're just a younger version of
copy of me.
That's gross. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would say sit your kids down and just tell them right now. Because they're going to have to unpack this in therapy years from now. And it will just be easier for them to tell their therapist this was the exact age when everything started. And sort of look at them and be like, hey, kids, I know that we say that, like, I don't have a favorite, and that's true because I don't like any of you. So at this point, the board is entirely clear, but you guys can climb the ranks. So get to work.
True.
And that way they want to impress you, so you flip the table on them.
Yeah.
This is great. I should write a book. I would be the new Dr. Spock, but for like abusing kids, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually good advice.
You remember when I said stuff that could be used against me in court?
Yeah.
To any judge that's listening to this, I'm only kind of joking. I don't think you should do this with your children, but at the same time, I think the fact that a parent openly being like, I don't really like my kids is very funny to me.
True.
Because it's, sadly, I say like, I think there's a lot of parents that love their kids, but they don't like them.
Yeah. It's just sad.
Yeah.
We just
and vice versa. People don't talk about it, but it's true.
Yeah. Because then it's like, do you only like them because you're their family?
It's so sad.
Yeah.
This is why the phrase like blood is thicker than water is not referring to family. It's referring to the blood of the brotherhood is thicker than the water of the womb, which means that the friendships you like willingly make are stronger than just like biological connections you have with people.
Wow.
I don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's actually true, but I heard that, and I know it's one of those phrases that people misuse.
Yeah.
But it's true when you think about it.
Yeah.
But then again, sometimes people have friends that they don't really like either. In which case, like, you did that to yourself, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
Just get out of that one.
It's your fault.
True.
So that was my advice. I mean, if you're asking us for advice at this point, you clearly are a negligent parent. So,
yeah, our first piece of advice is to not go to us for advice, I think.
But that would be my suggestion, you know?
Yeah.
Your kids know what they're about.
Yeah.
So that would be, I would say there's nothing wrong with you. It's normal to not love your family. Maybe, here's another suggestion. Drink some water and go to sleep. Take a nap. Yeah. Wake up. Do you still feel the same? You probably won't.
True.
You know, you're a woman. You're very emotional and you're not logical. So I'd say maybe don't listen to your brain. But that was our advice for this woman. We got another letter, Rachel.
Yes. Our next letter here says, "Dear Sara and the bald one." What? Okay. Dear Sara and Rachel, I have recently come into a... You've what? Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'll do it again. I won't put that in there.
That's 3 strikes.
I'm sorry, okay. Dear Sara and Rachel, I have recently come into a large sum of money on account of committing insurance fraud. I now have thousands of dollars in disposable income and want to get some plastic surgery. My entire family disapproves and says I am beautiful just the way I am, but these are the same people that wear acid wash jeans, so they don't exactly have discerning taste. I want to reinvent myself, and you two are beacons of style and beauty, so I value your opinion. What should I do? Signed, Plastic in Palo Alto. Wow.
I mean, go big or go home, baby.
Yeah.
I would say you
all the way.
You walk in there and you're like, "Doctor, I want you to make me another race. I want to be completely unrecognizable. I want you to make me either taller or shorter. Change my fingertips. Like, I don't want my fingerprints to be the same.
Yeah.
I want to be completely, like, I have to, like, redo all of my ID photos, essentially."
Yeah.
I think there is the, like, Kardashian package, which is ongoing, basically. It's essentially, like, 20 plus years of, like, constant, you know, procedures.
Yeah.
So your face will shift slowly. It will, like, your features will go up your face slightly and then sort of shift back down and up again sort of gradually over the course of 2 decades. However, that insurance money, honestly, it can be like a good chunk. It could be like $100K.
Yeah.
And you can get like some pretty good work done. You could like fly yourself out to South Korea.
Yeah.
You could get one of those, like, to be fair, those doctors, when they do nose jobs, it's the same nose. It's literally the same exact nose on every person. Yeah. So I'd say watch those videos, do a little Photoshop where you see yourself with that nose.
Yeah.
You know.
A little taste of it.
See what your profile looks like. I think the biggest mistake is that people go in and they'll take photos of people that they think are attractive and they'll be like, "Make my lips look like this." And then the surgeon's like, "But that's not your face. You're going to look weird."
Yeah.
So I would say have the photoshopped image of yourself ready and then you take a printout. I
want to look like this.
Yeah, and then you present it to the doctor and that's when they will know that you're truly deranged but have money. Yeah. So they'll chop you up.
Get that butt lift.
Make one tit really big, but then the other like teeny tiny.
Yeah. Like a Hershey Kiss.
Like just move your butt to the front. Like I would say, people think that plastic surgery is supposed to make you look better. That's not true. You can make yourself look worse if you want.
Yeah. You could become whatever you want.
And if you play your cards right, you will get a show on TLC.
Yeah, exactly. Get the TV deal, then you get the constant stream of money coming in. You can keep the Botox, the little maintenance stuff going. People
know what they're about. You know when those women who are like, "I'm going to be the real life Barbie," and then they end up looking like some sort of bizarre alien, like, you know, porking doll. And it's a look. Yeah. Or you could just you could go like the Bella Hadid approach and then just get something really like natural looking. But that looks really good. So she like went from looking Palestinian to looking just white. It's incredible. And I feel like if her surgeon happened to be Jewish, he or she might have gotten a little offended. He's like, "Wow, you wanted to change your nose? Why, was it too ethnic? Yeah. Did it look too Semitic?" And she was like, "Habibi, no." She's like, no, I know I make posts about Palestine, but I don't want to look like I'm from there.
Yeah.
Please change it. They won't hire me in fashion. So that's what I would say that you should do.
Yeah.
Jeffree Star. Just randomly.
Yeah.
It's just Jeffree Star. He also does look like an alien.
Yeah. I want his teeth, though. His fake teeth look
those
real
veneers.
Nice. Yeah.
Those veneers freak me out. I'm not going to... Like, what if they come off? You're going to be walking around with one tiny, like, shriveled tooth. You're going to look like a cartoon baby.
Yeah.
Did you have braces?
Yeah, twice. And they still couldn't fix it.
Damn. I got braces 4 years. I still wear my retainer to this day. Because if I don't, a slight little gap will come between my teeth, and then I like freak out, and I'm like, I'm gonna be, oh my god, I can't do this, and then I put it on. Why twice?
Yeah, well, because they put them on the first time, and then they're like, nah, this ain't gonna work, and then they like pulled out some teeth and like moved some things around and put the braces back on. And they were still like, we can only fix this if you get jaw surgery, so you can just deal with it or get the jaw surgery. And I was like, I'll just deal with it.
Was it like an overbite thing?
Yeah, they basically can't get rid of my overbite. they pulled out teeth, like they did everything. I literally had I had headgear. I had to wear the headgear at night. I've had every orthodonture, whatever device in my mouth.
Oh my god.
And they still can't fix it.
That's hilarious. Remember how braces used to be the ultimate, like, no, you're a geek. But now, like, straight teeth are, a requirement in America. Honestly, God bless that. Because I'm glad. I would rather every single child be braced up so I don't have to look at snaggle teeth ever again in my life.
Take that, UK.
I'll say it. I'm a straight tooth supremacist.
Yeah.
All right. This has been a riveting conversation.
Yeah.
So that's all we got to say on that. Tune in next week for another episode.
See you later. The Boredroom with Sara and Rachel is a production of Rails Comedy Network.
The Boredroom is produced by Walker Green and edited by Rachel Nicewander.
Stephen Duranske is our graphic designer, and our theme music is by Doug Maxwell and Media Right Productions.
You can follow us on Instagram at Boredroom Podcast.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to The Boredroom on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Like, comment, rate, and review. Tell us you love us. Tell us you hate us. Solicit us. We'll take anything.